Do you ever watch those year-end Roundup shows? You know, the ones that are like the 10 best movies of 2025 or the 10 celebrities who did scandalous things to make headlines. Well, today we're going to do the Petite Revolution version of a 2025 Roundup. But instead of famous people or the best shows on Netflix, we're going to answer your top 5 most asked questions that you sent in. Everything from how to dress your body post-baby, what career wear looks like in this post-pandemic landscape. There were lots and lots of shopping questions and, of course, questions about pants. Be sure to stick around for number 5. It is one of my favorite questions to get from clients. And then I also threw in a quick bonus round about accessories and how to use them to look polished and put together. By the end of this episode, you'll have the solutions that you need to answer all of the most frequently asked short girl style questions. I'm Angela, your Petite Style coach, and when you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to Inside Petite Style, the only podcast created exclusively for women 5'3" and under. You've built an incredible career. You've navigated all the crazy life changes. And somewhere along the way, getting dressed stopped being easy. Maybe your body's different or your role is different. And your closet, it just has not kept up. I'm Angela Foster, Petite Style coach since 2018 and creator of the Spark Petite Style method. And together, you and I will get your wardrobe back in shape. Every week, we'll talk about why petite proportions require a different approach. Discover what actually flatters your body shape and works with your lifestyle. And get all the insider shortcuts on where to shop so you're not wasting hours scrolling or even worse, settling for good enough. This is about more than looking good. It's about walking into any room, whether it's a big presentation or client meeting, a family event, or heck, just Tuesday, and feeling confident, polished, with a style as smart and savvy as you are. Let's get this style party started. Question number 1 is about pants. Why does the crotch area always feel huge, but the pants barely button around my waist? And if I size up for comfort, everything bunches at the ankles. Help. Okay, so there's a couple things to unpack here. Number 1 is that when the crotch is baggy, it's because we're buying the wrong size rise. Now, we have a whole episode on pant measurements and how to find your ideal numbers and all of that, and I'll be sure to link it in the show notes. But just a real brief version is rise is the vertical measurement from the crotch to the top of the waistband. And we know that a woman who's 5 feet tall, her rise is going to be different than a woman who's 6 feet tall. This has become even more problematic the last few seasons because of how popular high-rise pants are. And unfortunately, on many petites, high rise equals baggy crotch. So how do we fix it? The easiest way is to take a pair of pants that you already own and like the way that middle section fits you, and then measure that rise. Once you have that number, when you're shopping online, before you tap add to cart, double check the rise and make sure it matches your most flattering number. Question number 2 is about shopping. She says, shopping is painful. I try on regular and petite sizes, but nothing feels successful. And when I do buy something, it's because it fits, not because I love it. Where should I actually be shopping and how do I make it less exhausting? And this is such a brilliant question. In fact, episode 8 is all about petite versus regular sized clothes. So if you've ever faced a similar challenge, you'll definitely want to listen to that episode next. In the meantime, let's just level set on what petite actually means. And it has nothing to do with size. You can be a 16 petite or a 22 petite and everywhere in between. Women also think that if they're short, they automatically need to look at petite sized clothes. But that's not necessarily the case because there are 8 different measurements between petite and regular sized, which means you may require petite sized clothes on the top or bottom or both. But before you go shopping again, you'll definitely want to know which is best for you. We're going to scream through what those 8 different measurements are. So when it comes to tops, shoulder width on petite size clothes is narrower. The armholes are higher elbow allowance is higher, and the distance from the shoulder seam to the hem is shorter, and so is the sleeve length. So if you've ever found yourself thinking that regular size tops are too long, or the sleeves are too long, or the neckline is too low, or the shoulder seams fall to the top of your arm, then you likely want to try petite size tops, blouses, and sweaters. As far as bottom measurements go, obviously the overall length is shorter. And when we're talking about pants, the rise is shorter and the knee allowance is higher. Now, in order to know where to shop and make it not exhausting, you need to answer the question, are you petite on top or bottom or both? One final PSA, just like clothes for regular sized women, all petite brands are special little snowflakes. So it's always important to keep in the back of our mind that even though we figured out what petite size we need by this brand, does not necessarily translate to another brand. So we always want to make sure to check the measurements under the fit and size guide before tapping add to cart in order to avoid all those unnecessary and exhausting returns. Question number 3 is what to do when your body changes. I've had 2 kids and my body has completely changed. My midsection is now a challenge. There's not much definition between my bust, waist, and hips anymore. How do I dress this new shape? Another terrific question. First things first, as women, our bodies are always changing. Yes, because of babies, but maybe also because of hormonal fluctuations or menopause, or because we're short and even small weight gains and losses can wreak havoc on our shape because there's just not as many places for those pounds to go. Now, if you and I have been hanging around for any length of time, you know we could talk body shape all day, every day. The reason why is because understanding the styles and silhouettes that work best for your shape is the basis for great style. Honestly, nothing else matters if you don't. Not your best colors or how to find pants, and especially not where to shop if you don't know what to buy. Now, in case you're new here and you haven't already, you'll want to take the Petite Body Shape Quiz. It's super fast, only 7 questions, and takes about 2 minutes. It lives full time at InsidePetiteStyle.com. And of course, I'll add the link to the show notes so you don't have to hunt it down. Now, in this case, where there's not as much difference between your bust, waist, and hips as there used to be, no problem. Because dressing for your shape is all about the clever use of styles and silhouettes to create an illusion. And in this case, we want to create the illusion of definition. It can be under your bust by wearing empire waist tops and dresses and sweaters, or it can still be at your waist by wearing peplum tops, sweaters, and blazers. What we don't want to do is default to wearing shapeless tunics and long oversized sweaters because those actually make us look bigger than what we are. Now, we dig into this topic in a whole lot more depth in episode 9. I think it's called What to Do When Weight Shifts to Your Stomach. And of course, I'll be sure to add that link in the show notes also. Question number 4 is how to up-level your wardrobe when your career changes. I'm in a position of leadership in my company. However, my clothes don't support that. How do I look sophisticated and polished, not cute or childish when I'm only 5'1"? Here are some things to think about. Now, there are no 2 work environments that are exactly the same. So please put these different tips through the filter based on your office situation and also who you work for and the team that you manage. First, consider color. Pastel and bright colors are going to send a much different message than neutrals or even rich jewel tones. Picture in your mind a deep burgundy or navy outfit versus a bright blue or pastel green. The deeper, richer tones, the more neutral tones are going to send a much more serious impression than, say, something more fun and youthful. Very different colors, very different color psychology, and it's going to impact how you come across. Second, consider the actual styles and silhouettes. On Petites, clean, minimalist styles are typically more flattering. Plus, they're more classic and they come across as more mature than, say, like a loose, flowy maxi dress with ruffles. So keep your style meter turned up high. Now, since she specifically mentioned cute and childish, let's talk about prints. Houndstooth, plaid, stripes, even a small polka dot will absolutely work. Depending upon the colors, be super picky about your florals. The size of the print, yes, because petites always need to be cautious about that. But too many colors or too colorful overall, and it can turn your look too youthful. You can always save those fun prints for the weekends. One last thing when it comes to dressing for the position you have or the position you want to have, the easiest way to look polished and sophisticated is for your clothes to fit really well. Ill-fitting or wrinkled or rumpled or whatever is never a good look, no matter what position you have. Here we go. It's question number 5. Once something is in my closet, I don't know how to make it work with other items I own. I'm not able to put together stylish outfits. How do I learn to do this? And like I said, this is my favorite Petite Style challenge to work through with coaching clients. First of all, let's talk about what causes this so that we know what to avoid moving forward. The first thing is too many colors in your closet. When we have a super colorful wardrobe, it might look fun, but it is way harder to mix and match items and put different outfits together. The second is when we buy items, not outfits. You see a black pair of pants here and a black skirt there, and then a cream colored blouse there that doesn't really go with either of them. So what we need to do instead is first pick a color palette. 3 to 5 neutrals and 1 to 2 accent colors is a great place to start. Now, not forever, just until you're happy with how many easy, ready-to-go outfits that you have. The second is when we shop without a plan, we frequently buy what's easy. Meaning, if it's easy for you to find pants, then we have oodles of pants and no tops or sweaters to go with them. Or vice versa, when tops are easy, we end up with oodles of sweaters, tops, and blazers, and only a few bottoms that we wear so often that we get bored. So to solve this, what you want to do is take a look at your closet and make a list and be as specific as possible. So for example, I need a sweater and a blazer to go with that charcoal column skirt, or I need a blouse to go with the navy wide leg pants. Keep going until you have a list that fills in all your wardrobe gaps. Then 2 things. Be super disciplined when shopping. And I know discipline isn't fun, but trust me, a pulled together closet will make your life so much easier. If it's not on your list, don't buy it until you have your list complete. And remember, it's not a race. There's no prize for finishing first, because adding items to your closet that you don't love doesn't actually move us closer to our goal. It actually just creates more problems in the future. And here is bonus question number 6. I'm 5 feet tall and struggle with accessories. What actually elevates an outfit versus overwhelming a petite frame? This is such a great question. And while it's a super popular topic in one-on-one coaching sessions, we so rarely talk about accessories on the podcast. So I wanted to be sure to include it. Here's what happens. We buy a necklace to go with this outfit, and then a new pair of earrings to go with that outfit, and then a scarf or a pair of shoes to go with that outfit. None of that's bad, but it does create a huge hodgepodge of accessories in our jewelry box and leaves us feeling like we don't have the right accessory for anything new that we might buy. That's when it's time to circle back to what accessory accentuates your favorite feature best. Once we revisit that and determine, is it necklaces, tights, shoes, earrings, bracelets, whatever, then we need to fill in the major gaps. Say, for example, a set of thin gold bangles would go with these 3 outfits, and a gold charm bracelet would go with these other outfits, whatever that might be. Then you'll always know that you have at least one perfect accessory that accentuates your favorite feature to up-level every outfit that you have. When it comes to the right sized accessories for your petite body shape, always try them on in a full-length mirror, because accessories can up-level an outfit, but they can also overwhelm us. And accessories should be the frosting, not so big that they're the actual cake. A good rule of thumb is when you have them on and you look in the full-length mirror, if they're the first thing that you see, they're much too big and we need to downsize. Do you know what time it is? Yup, it's time for a style challenge, because listening to the episode is great, but actually putting the tips into action is when you move your closet closer to your wardrobe goals. So ask yourself, which question resonated most with you? Was it a changing body shape or leveling up your wardrobe so it matches your current career role? Or was it knowing where to shop? In case there was more than one, pick the one that will have the biggest impact on how easy it is to get dressed in the morning. And then today, tackle the first step that we talked about, like take the quiz or measure your pants and discover your perfect rise. Or maybe it's check out your favorite retailers for petite pants or tops or both. Take that one small step and it is going to make a huge difference in where your closet is a month from now. And if you'd like support, send me an email at hello@insidepetitestyle.com and you and I will figure out your next best steps. That, my friend, is a wrap. Thank you so much for hanging out and make sure to follow the show so you never miss out on a Petite Style tip. I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Petite Style. When you're ready to create a wardrobe that fits your height, flatters your body shape, and makes getting dressed fun and easy, head over to InsidePetitestyle.com and take my free Petite Style quiz. You'll get personalized tips and strategies made just for your proportion and your height. And hey, you know that girlfriend who's always rolling up her sleeves and hemming her pants? Share this episode with her. She needs to know she's not alone and that there are real solutions. See you next week. Until then, have fun and stay stylish.